Well, welcome to Ignite number 5. And we have a huge audience today. My name is Tracy Branden. I am with the Pringle team here at Keller Williams out of Westlake Village. And for those of you who will see this later or join later, today is all about buyer consultation. The buyer consultation is very important. As you all understand, this is that first, maybe face-to-face meeting with your client, where they can understand what to expect during the process of buying. So we're going to start off with the slides. For those of you who can join in or take a peek, you can download the slides. And I'm going to follow along with you and lead. So here we go. Okay. They say, what successful agents do every day? Successful agents do something that we all should be doing. They grow their business and they actually run their business. And the way they do that is by getting qualified leads and focusing on only motivated buyers and sellers. We lead generate in several different ways. Some people can actually say lead generating by doing open houses, which, you know, that's the thing of the past right now. There's no lead generating for open houses anymore because we can't do them. So what's the next best thing? For brand new agents, we have something that we consider to be our sphere of influence. Our sphere of influence would be, people that we do business with, folks that we come across that we trade business or school with, different vendors. So within our business, we have several different aspects of generating leads. And a sphere of influence would be right here in your cell phone. Your phone is the #1 lead generating source. The average person has their minimum 200 contacts in their phone at any given time. So over time, with email, text message, all the different apps that are out here, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, there's several different sources where you can actually generate and cultivate leads. Last week or a week and a half ago, we went over how to win and find the buyer. So for those of you who are joining in, you can actually use your notes from how to win and find the buyer, because what we're going to get to next is actually setting the appointment. Once you actually have a lead, whether it's from, using command and sending out your basic emails and just following up with your clients, you're going to start getting those phone calls. And what you want to do is be able to set your appointment. The appointment setting is very simple. Once you get someone on the phone and it's speaking with you about 123 Main Street, you want to actually go in for a close of getting that appointment. And maybe it would sound like, oh, I'm calling about 123 Main Street. Wonderful. You know what? That's a great property. A lot of folks have been calling about that property. Give me a minute to check and see if it's still available. But in the meantime, tell me a little bit about your situation. You want to continue to go layer after layer, asking questions so that you can actually qualify that lead. Once you qualify the lead, the qualification looks like this. It's going to either be an A buyer, a B buyer, or a C buyer. The A buyer is the person that has to make a move very fast. You can ask those leading questions in your, while you have them on the phone, you can actually ask them what's their motivation, why they're living at home at this time. And based on their answers, it's going to tell you how motivated they are. You want to always determine the motivation of your buyer. So that what we do, we don't waste time. We only work with motivated buyers. Because we're talking about booking buyers appointments right now, we're only going to talk about buyers. Same thing with sellers, you want to book appointments. Today we're talking about buyers. So if you have someone that's interested, you want to automatically ask for your appointment. Okay. On the phone, you want to also qualify them by asking, finding out if they've already been approved. What's it going to look like for them to be able to purchase this home in that certain amount of time. So ask for the appointment. number one. All right? Let me move over to next slide. We set the appointment. Once we set the appointment, what it looks like when you set the appointment, because we have our buyer presentation already ready to go, what you'd like to do at that time is actually email a copy of the buyer presentation. You're going to email the buyer questionnaire, that's what we want to call it. So you take your lead sheet, you transfer the information you received from your lead sheet over to the buyer consultation, and you send them the questionnaire. Questionnaire looks like this. This right here. The questionnaire is going to ask questions in regards to the motivation. Okay, it's going to ask about lifestyle. It's going to ask about beds and baths, school district. What's important to you in this, with this move? Once you send that buyer questionnaire to them, you'll have all of that information ready to go, and ask them at that time to send you a copy of the buyer questionnaire once it's completed, so you can be best prepared to serve them in a timely manner once they get into the office. As customary, you always want to have your first buyer's appointment in the market center. You want to make sure that if you book an appointment, you want to have your buyers come into the market center. One, because it's a professional environment. Two, you want to see and let them see that you're serious about, being able to help them out. You are a professional realtor, okay? With a large company, Keller Williams, got a lot of backing, so it looks good. Presentation is great. So once you have them come into the office, direct their first impressions. You can always have them greet their guests. You come up, greet the guests, and at that time, you have them fill out a quick little, it's just basically your buyer lead sheet, which you're going to verify the information at that time. That's where you're going to do, make sure you have the proper email address, communication, anything that you would need to make sure that you're getting in touch with them properly, the address in which they live, in case you have to deal with documents. That's where you allow your director of first impressions to get them set up while you gather the information. Okay? Let's move to the presentation in itself. Setting the appointment. This is prospecting and marketing, leads, tracking, incorporate the contract itself, and cultivating. This is where you want to follow each one of these steps and make them understand what's the process in buying a home, right? It goes over here. It said role model, set the appointment. We just did that earlier about setting the appointment. Now they're in the office. Okay. Here's where you want to conduct your buyer consultation. Let's see. So you'll have to go to command. In the command field, you can actually download the buyer presentation at that time. In command buyer presentation, you can actually take some language out. You can add some language in. You can customize it to your liking or to your client. Once you have the lead sheet completed, you can actually customize your buyer presentation. All of this is done in command. I'm not going to get into that right now because it's a lot of technical stuff that we'd have to go through to get there. So I'm going to move forward to the next slide and see where we are. This is what your buyer presentation looks like. Okay? You want to ask the client to describe their dream home. At this time, you want to allow them to ask them, so what does your next home look like? At that particular time, allow them to speak and share with you all of what they see, what kind of vision they have for the new home. Okay? You want to ask about the preferences. Preferences would be questions like, do you prefer single story? Or do you, are you okay with two-story? You want to ask about the backyard. Is a backyard important to school districts? You want to find out what are their preferences for the new home. All right, go to Buyer 101. Buyer 101 Buying 101 is giving you the basics, outline that they can use to actually see what the buying process is about. You want to be able to explain step by step what the process is in purchasing a home. You want to let them know that you have your service. You want to give them your overall promise. We have a Keller Williams or a Pringle team promise, in which that's where we actually explain to the client what's expected of them, and want to find out what's expected of you. Okay, sometimes in a situation, unilaterally, you want to make sure that everyone's on the same page. In some cases, you might have a buyer that comes in that has very, very high expectations. And at that time, they may want you to sell them a house that's worth $1 million for $500,000. When you start hearing that conversation throughout the process of the presentation, that's the time when you might want to pull back and say, well, based on what we discussed, maybe I'm not the right agent. And there's nothing wrong with that, because if you feel that someone's going to waste your time, again, we only want to deal with realistic, motivated buyers. Okay? Here we go. Your needs drive how and when we find your next home. From this day forward, everything I do will be motivated by your goals, how you imagine your life taking place in your new home. Once I get an understanding of where you see yourself, finding your dream home will move quickly and with minimal interruption to your daily life. All of these tabs that are in here can be customized. This is short, sweet, to the point, gives them an idea of you're committed, you're going to them, and your motivation will only match their motivation. All right? Let's see. Build your preference profile. The basics. Have you considered who my main contact will be? What timeline would you like to strive for? You want to find out the timeline in which you want to be in the new home. Okay? Have you looked into getting pre-approved for a home? Have you thought about the price range you'd be comfortable with? If I found a home today that checks all of your boxes, then you see yourself making a move sooner rather than later. All of these are qualifying and leading questions. We're going to let you know whether the buyer you're sitting with is an actual A, B, or C buyer. Again, I can't stress enough, you only want to work with motivated buyers. Everyone else, you want to add them to the drip campaign and make sure that you stay top of mind when they think about buying or selling. Right? Your home wish list. This is very important because people will share with you all what they want to see in their brand new home. This is very important. Allow your clients to speak and share with you what they're looking for in their new property. Okay. Neighborhood insights. In Command, we have the ability to actually narrow down the neighborhood, and we can, neighborhood insights shares information about schools, restaurants, lifestyle. This is a great marketing tool to be able to share with the clients once you have their information. So I would say definitely you want to go into Command, and you can customize all of these fields as well. But the basic information for the neighborhood will be how buying a home works. All right, here it is. This is very important. You want to partner with an agent. Number two, get pre-approved for a loan. 3, find your new home. 4, make your offers and negotiate the terms. That's the basic overview of buying a home, or at least getting your offers out there. So once you're sitting with the client, you want to go bullet by bullet and go step by step with them, explaining what this is. All right? Because folks that have never purchased a home before, a lot of anxiety, anxious, they want to know what's going on. It's the perfect time to look like a rock star and ask all the real questions so you can serve the client. All right? Affiliated business arrangement disclosure. Okay? That's for mortgages. We're going to skip over that. We're going to do a lot of Keller mortgage here. Yet, you can do that on your own time and explore Keller mortgage. I don't have enough information in front of me to be intelligent in speaking that's something that you can explore a little later. Yeah, it has a lot of incentives. I understand if you go to color mortgage, you can color with agent, there's great discounts to the buyer. So if you have a chance and they're not pre-approved, you can always use color mortgage to get them pre-approved. If not, there's a list of vendors. They may have their own, but we do have a list of vendors that we use. We have in-house vendors as well. So we want to also just take a look at the vendors. Real value and real experience. This is what you want to have, your resume and say a little bit about yourself, say a little bit about your team. If you have a team, most of the solo agents say, oh, I've never sold a house before. And I'm wondering, how can I actually show my experience when I've never sold a house before? Well, you want to put your skills as, in sales or marketing if you have that. Yet you want to use that Keller Williams as your team. So having administrative people in the office, co-workers, everything that falls up under Keller Williams Westlake Village, we're a big conglomerate. You want to use that as a marketing tool for yourself. So customize your resume enough to show that you're not a solo act, you're not a solo home, you have a big team behind you. Okay? Now, you want to also give our core values. You see them as you walk around the market center all the time. You want to tell them it's got to be a win-win situation. Everything's based on integrity. Customers always come first. Our commitment in all things, communication, creativity, teamwork, trust, and success. Those are very important key values, and we want to let them know we stand behind. All right. Conduct the buyer consultation. This is the cool part. Here we go. All right. This is some role play. So all you guys that are at home, 5 minutes on your own time, you can go to the scripts page, take a look at it, and just role play. Or you can always call me at any time, and I'll role play with you. All right? So we have a massive audience in here today. We have hundreds of thousands of students, as you can see. It's packed in here. Buyer representative agreement, close of the buyer consultation. This is very important. Once you have a qualified buyer, and you spend some time with them, you've got them pre-approved, you're ready to go out and take a look at properties and whatnot, you want to find out if you guys are a good fit. At this particular time is when you give them the pledge and let them ask them prior to that, how do I win with you and how do I lose with you? Understand and establish communication so you can understand how they like to be communicated, whether it's by mail, it could be a phone call, a certain time of day, it could be text message. Either way, you want to make sure that you communicate with them properly. And after going through the full buyer presentation, if you guys seem like you're a good fit, you'll ask them to sign the pledge. Once they sign the pledge, you actually give them use to sign saying yes. That's when you want to get your buyer broker agreement and have them sign that. Too many agents run out and want to show properties just because someone says they want to see a property without qualifying them properly. Yet, you need to protect yourself, because if you don't have them in their mind with signing something, remembering that they signed something with you, because in today's market, it's really tough for buyers, especially FHA buyers, or buyers that don't have mortgage down. They're being overlooked because of the competition and low inventory. So you want to give them a fighting edge, and you want to let them know that you're working hard for them. So within your presentation, you might explain to them the contingency periods where they can shorten goals to make their offer look just a little bit better than the next person. But even with that, once you get through your presentation, you want to have them agree to work with you. And that's when you give them the buyer broker agreement. If everything I said to you today seems like, you want to move forward with working with me and my team, we just sign the buyer broker agreement. And you explain the buyer broker agreement to them. Okay? On 2 slides says non-exclusive buyer broker agreement, there's exclusive buyer broker. You just want to get them used to that, actually signing an agreement to work with you, understand that you're their realtor and vice versa, being the client. and you want to make sure they understand that you're going to be doing a lot of work to help them get into their new home. So with that, please get it signed. I've seen too many times where agents will do a whole lot of work for buyers, then they turn around and sign a contract or go and have another agent sell the house because their brother or their cousin just got a real estate license. So although they're working with you, learning all the ropes, and you can set, they turn around and give it to someone else because they don't feel that there's anything exclusive because we didn't have them sign it. So please get the buyer broker agreement signed. Ready? There won't be any role play. Share your app with as many people as possible. This is super cool. We have it right here in our hand. I'm going to share your app with as many people as possible. Once they start looking for properties on your app, they're automatically added to command. You can track their view from there. All right. They can collect the same homes here in the command. You can actually see what you're looking at. This helps you as well. Explore, being able to give them a call back. Say, hey, I saw you looked at 123 Main Street. It's still available. Tell me what you like about that property. And explore a little bit more. Set an appointment to go out and do those properties. Again, we're in the lockdown, stay at home order, make sure prior to going out to see any properties, you follow guidelines, get the forms filled out, project going. All right. Line your guy. Let's see. Recap and aha. Because there's no one in the audience. Well, there's one great person in the audience today. Tracy back. She's helping us out here. Thanks for checking us out. But we're gonna call it. And thank you guys for taking a peek. And hopefully next time, join the live class. Thanks again. All right. That was painful.
We have to end it
Where?
right there. Just click on
How you do the show by yourself?
end meeting.